What's up guys, Mike, IronTrap Garage. This week we are doing a week in the life of. This is probably our busiest time of the year. It is the week before Carlisle, so like the past 2 or 3 weeks I've been insanely busy trying to get everything priced and ready for Carlisle, and then the week after that is Hershey. So these like 3 or 4 weeks in the end of September, beginning of October are absolute chaos. We have a bunch of estates that we've been meaning to get to but haven't had time to get to that we've went and visited the last couple weeks. So I got to go through all that stuff and price it. I got to price the stuff in our inventory and just pull it all out, get it all ready, so this coming Friday I can load the trailer and everything's ready to take to Carlisle on Monday. So this is where I'm at so far. All those boxes are packed full of intakes, a ton of adapters, wheels, getting some body stuff ready. We got that big pile of speed equipment from Ed in New York. We put a video out on. I'm almost through all of it. I'm gonna have this last little bit here that I'm gonna finish up today. But I've gotten through the majority of it. This is all doubles stuff, or triples even, that we have some already. So I've just been going through everything, pricing it, writing down a list so Ed knows what we have, blah, blah, blah. I still need to go through all of our inventory and grab it. And Matt is actually on his way back from Detroit right now. It's Monday around lunchtime. Matt drove all the way to Detroit to pick up the contents of the 36.3 window that we bought in Oregon. That got delivered to the person that bought it in Detroit. We're shooting another video on all that stuff. So busy week. I got a ton of work to do. Matt and Steve have a ton of stuff going on at the shop to wrap up some projects because neither of them are going to be there for 2 weeks. So they're just trying to get some stuff wrapped up. So busy week, a lot of random stuff going on. So let's take you guys along for the ride.
All right, so after some running around to Michigan and back, we're back on the T. So a lot of people on our social media saw I posted a photo, the T with the turtle deck off, the engine out, which is sitting right here, and we were putting another engine in. So I've been fighting with this for 4 years, I don't know, way too long, finding all kinds of problems. Basically, the guy that built the engine for me did not do a good job. At the very end of the job, he kind of just buttoned it all up and gave it to me, and stuff was not done. So we found, Steve and I were going through all the issues. We found a ton of things wrong, and after we got pretty much everything fixed, we were still getting like backfiring out the exhaust, and we kind of have gotten to the point where we're pretty sure there's something with the valves, the way they were machined, and the valve seats. We think that they have small block Chevy valves. I think something's not machined right, and I pulled the plug because I was tired of effing with it. So we had a stock car engine that I think we talked about in one of the videos where we bent some valves and then found out it was a stock car engine. It's bored out and blah, blah, blah. So that's this engine now, which is back in. We put it back in the car, and we ended up putting an Isky 400 Junior in it on the stand. The engine before had a Isky 404 radius tappet cam. We tried to go a little more simple with this one, which is just as aggressive of a cam. So we have it in. We still have the turtle deck off, and then we're going to test fire here, and then for just a split second, ran on the stand already, and then we're going to put our coolant in it and hopefully take this for a test drive, and fingers crossed finally our issues are fixed, but who knows, we'll have to knock on wood for superstition. Got fuel. I know.
crap that's got an idle.
Yeah, might need to turn it up just a. Well, I guess it's got to warm up too.
Yeah.
Might need a.
This car is probably gonna end up being pretty ignorant when before it's warmed up.
Yeah.
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 Holy crap. All right. Short.
Low. Well, that time at least it started on its own, so we're getting closer.
All right, so the 34 5 window that Matt got in trade for the two-door sedan sold a couple months ago, probably been about a month now. Gentleman is picking it up at Hershey, so we're gonna stash it in my shop until Hershey, and I'll just toss it in my trailer and deliver it there. But I got my little assistant, Nate, to help me. So we're gonna roll this thing into here until Hershey in a couple weeks, and then put it in my trailer and deliver. So you gonna give me a hand? Let's go. I didn't mean clap. Can you go in the back and push? All right, hold up. You're supposed to help. Come on, I need help pushing. Come on. Come on.
Why the lights didn't work?
Because they don't work. Ready? Push on the back. Ready, set. Oh! You wanna go see Goblin? Turn around. Let's go say hi.
All right, so it's Friday. We have a ton to try and do today before, okay, buddy, before, that's his head, or his tail hitting the back of the cab. We have a ton to do before Carlisle and Hershey. This is basically our last working day before we have basically 2 weeks off where we're running around at Carlisle and Hershey, selling, buying, you know, hanging out, whatever. Unfortunately, like always, the Mercury, I drove it the other night and went to a cruise in and hung out, and went to drive it yesterday to run some errands, and the battery was dead. So checked out on that, and I think the voltage regulator went bad. I don't know if it was it was a new one, but I don't know if it was like an old new one we had just kicking around from another state, or if it was one from Napa. Don't know, but I could not get it to charge. I tried, you know, polarizing everything and generator, and didn't work. So we're gonna run to Napa in the big red truck, take Moon, and then Steve's working on drilling out the jets for the T. We ended up finding out that the bunch of problems, but we swapped that other engine in, and the stupidest, we were still having the issue, which is kind of crazy. And we started the last issue we were having, and finally, after Mike urging us, we changed out the carb tops. They had these Scott velocity stacks, and it like pretty much instantly got rid of the issue for the most part, 90% of it, and the car is drivable, but we're still running a little lean, we think. We think that those Scott tops were actually blocking the air and causing turbulence at speed, and it was making the car like essentially like run lean. It was really weird. So now that we have more air, I don't even know if it was run lean actually. Anyways, now that we put the stock carb tops back on, it is, I think, getting a lot more airflow, and it is definitely running lean, and it's kind of heating up a little bit when you're driving it, which it wasn't doing. So Steve's working on that. We're gonna try and take the T for one last drive. We're at least hopefully going in the right direction with that thing. And then, yeah, Mike's working on getting the parts all set up for the swap meets. So it'll be a productive Friday. All right, buddy.
right, got my Napa voltage regulator. Believe it or not, they still carry them and they're fairly easy to get. So I got the Mercury in here. I've had it, the battery charging overnight because I ran it basically dead driving it with a no charging. So it looks like it's coming back here on my little charger. And yeah, so we have I think this was a new voltage regulator that we had sitting around. It doesn't look like the Napa one that has like that cadmium, gold cadmium plated. We just threw an old chrome cover on it. So I'm gonna take that off, swap everything over. Luckily, we had all this apart, the wiring's new, so fingers crossed, it should be a quick job, and hopefully I'm charging again. The generator is all new internally and all that, so hopefully there's nothing else it could be. All right, we should be able to do our polarizing here. Ford and GM are different in how you do this, but on a Ford, you take the field wire off of the regulator and you momentarily touch it to the battery. And if you see that little blue spark, basically you polarized it and everything's good. So I do it 2-3 times just for possibly OCD, I don't really know, but I can't do it just once. And yeah, put this back on, and fingers crossed that was our problem. And if we're getting some charging, then I could swap that chrome cover back on and it'll be good as new. So like I said, you never know with this stuff, but there's not a lot to these charging systems. Regulator and generator and your amp gauge. All right, got my cheap little Harbor Freight battery tester, totally analog. Sometimes we use the digital voltmeters. Steve and I have found that they start reading all crazy with the generator. I don't know why. I'm not that smart, but I know that my old school load tester analog one works just fine. So crank this sucker up. Swap my chrome cover over. Steve and I have been having a rough summer with just old cars fighting us, and I was apprehensive because, you know, it's a typical thing this summer. Brand new regulator dies, and you know, we're so scarred from all the problems we've been having. We're like, it's probably something, not just simple part replacement. But this one, luckily, was again brand new regulator. Now, it may, like I said, it might have been an old regulator that we had kicking around that we threw in, but still surprising that it went bad after like 2 summers of driving. It's probably only got, I don't know, 1,000 miles on it or something like that, or not a lot. But if anybody watched the episode with Freiberger with the 39, he had a brand new 39, forgotten how, right? He had a brand new regulator or generator, both were new, that fried and started on fire. So you never know with new parts. Nice thing with these old, even GM and Ford, they made the spacing different for the covers. I think so you can tell what type of cover you had, whether it was Delco or Ford or whatever. But you can take these old chrome covers you can find for a couple bucks at the swap meet, and they fit right on brand new, you know, if you buy them brand new. So I always thought it was cool that that bright blue cover just screams, you know, that it's new, just shouts in the engine bay. So if you put these cool chrome covers on, or even if you can find the finned ones like Cal Customs sold, I think it's pretty cool. Try not to. Really should disconnect the battery, but we're feeling dangerous today. And this is just all the normal stupid stuff that we deal with day to day with just having all these old cars. Pain in the ass. But wouldn't have it any other way. All right, so got the T back together. We ended up going up a jet size from the last time we started it, and it's getting better, but we want to drive it and see if it makes any kind of change. But at least we got it back to a point where it's starting nicely. I got to polish these scoops so that they match and shine, but we threw them on for now just to have something on there. And yeah, it's getting a lot better. All right, we're gonna take a ride. good? Sounds awesome. It's getting there. All right, so that is our week in the life of the week before Carlisle and Hershey, fall Carlisle and Hershey. So we had a crazy week. We're just trying to button a bunch of stuff up, get some things done, because basically we have 2 weeks of away from the shop. So Steve and I were trying to get some things done. We made some progress on the free tee. It's better, but not 100% better, but we're moving in the right direction. And hopefully we'll have this thing finally, after years of me messing with it, we'll have this thing running a little better and all the weird little bugs worked out. But it's really fun to actually take a cruise in it, a trouble-free cruise, which has probably been one of the first times ever in this thing. It made it all the way home, started up, idled, all that stuff. So really, really good. And make sure if you're watching this video and you're coming to Fall Carlisle or Hershey, you come to see us. We'll drop the spaces down below that you can see there for Fall Carlisle and also at Hershey. Come by, say hello. We'll have all our merch there. Tell us what you're working on, check out our parts, or just give us a high five. We'd love to see you guys. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys later.